Okay, thank you. May I know kung ano po yung last topic na na-discuss natin in our module 6? Hanggang saan po yung ating last discussion? Yes, Iko.
Hindi po ma'am tayo nakapag-discuss since wala po kayong internet nung last time po.
Okay. Tapos nung Thursday ulit ang sunod natin klase. Ano? So wala rin. So hindi
Yes
pa
po.
tayo nag-start ng chapter 6. Chapter 5, hindi pa rin. Nakasimula tayo? Hindi pa
No
rin.
po.
So dun tayo sa sa chapter 5, which is all about the introduction to convection. Ganun ba? O sige, punta tayo sa ating module 5 and let us discuss this one. And after this, we proceed with our section 6. Okay. So, yung ating module 5 is introduction to convection. So, most of the topics naman po dito are part of the module 6 were already introduced to you when we had our introduction, when we discussed the different modes of heat transfer in chapter 1. Meron lang mga additional na concepts and also especially yung last part, which is all about the dimensionless parameters that we are going to use in convection heat transfer analysis. Okay? So for our intended learning outcomes for our module 5, differentiate velocity and thermal boundary layers of convection and understand the different dimensionless group of heat and mass transfer, their equation and interpretation. So again, ang first part natin is just an introduction, reminding us again of our convection heat transfer equation, in which our heat flux is calculated as H times the difference in the surface and fluid temperature, provided that they are not equal. So again, there would be convection heat transfer if the surface and the moving fluid are of different temperature. Okay? So what you have here in figure 31 is the local and total convection heat transfer effects on a surface of arbitrary shape and a flat plate. So in letter A, as you see, it is an arbitrary shape. No? So still, our determination of our heat plate would be depending on the area. So our heat flux times the area. Area that we are talking about for convection is the surface area. And then for the second figure, as you see, there is a flat plate in which you have the surface area, the temperature of the surface, and then you have here the temperature of the fluid with its velocity. Then the next one would be so as you see here, yung ating velocity boundary layer on a flat plate. So we consider this to be a flat plate, ano? And then you have here the velocity of the fluid. So you have here the x component or the horizontal component of the velocity of the fluid. So as you notice here in our figure, starting from the surface, the velocity of the fluid or the x component of the velocity of the fluid is equal to 0 from the surface. But as it goes further away from the surface, the velocity of the fluid increases. And there is the so-called this delta, the lowercase delta, which is the so-called the velocity boundary layer thickness, in which, as mentioned here, you have here this distance y, which is equal to delta, and that is simply equivalent to this value. So this quantity delta is termed as the boundary layer thickness, which is typically defined for a value of y, which is equal to 0.99 times that of the velocity, the x component of the velocity of the fluid. So this value is equivalent to this one. Ano? So yun po yung ating quantity na delta, which is our boundary layer thickness. So you have to determine what is this thickness in such a way that this value of the velocity is 0.99 times the x velocity component of our velocity of the fluid. No? So again, started from the velocity which is equal to 0. As you see from the profile, yung ating kulay red na diagram, the velocity increases from the surface. Okay? And then, the other one is the so-called thermal boundary layer. Still, that is a consequence of heat transfer between the surface and the fluid. And as you see in our next figure, the difference between that of the velocity boundary layer and that of the thermal boundary layer. No? So kanina, if this is a heated surface, yung velocity profile natin nag-start sa 0 and then it increases as it moves further away from the surface. But for this one, for the thermal boundary layer development on an isothermal flat plate, what do you notice? No? What you notice to the curve, ito sa ating red-colored curve. So since this is the heated surface, of course, the temperature is higher kasi malapit siya doon sa surface. But as it goes further away from the heated surface, the temperature decreases naman. Ano? So kabaligtaran siya ni velocity. Si velocity mula dito, papunta dito. Ano? Yung ating curve kanina. Pero ngayon po is that here, since it is a heated surface, so pag lumayo siya doon sa heated surface, the temperature of the fluid will decrease. So kabaligtaran po yung ating velocity and thermal profile or thermal boundary profile. So now, you have here yung ating delta. So kung kanina meron tayong delta na dinefine natin na that is the value of y, in which your u is equal to 0.99 times the x component of the velocity of the fluid. This one is our still delta, but we call it the thermal boundary layer thickness, no? Delta T, in which ang definition naman natin, as mentioned here, is that is the value of y for which the ratio of Ts minus T divided by Ts minus the temperature of the fluid is equal to 0.99. So you have to determine what is that value, and that is the so-called your thermal boundary layer thickness. No? So yan po yung ating value. That is the value of y for which the ratio of Ts, that is the temperature of the surface, minus T. So yung ating pong T is the value of the temperature na ito pong nandito sa ating profile, divided by yung difference ng Ts minus the temperature of the fluid to be equal to 0.99. So the value of y that corresponds to that ratio is the so-called thermal boundary layer thickness. Okay, so ayan po yung pinagkaiba ng ating dalawang profile, the velocity and the thermal boundary layer development. Now, the next section po is laminar and turbulent flow. So, laminar and turbulent flow, because it is important to know first kung ano po yung type ng ating fluid flow. Because later, in our next chapter or chapters, you will be seeing the difference in the empirical equation that we are going to use to find the Nusselt number will be depending on the type of flow. whether it is laminar, turbulent, or whether we are in the transition region. No? So how do we know that it is laminar or turbulent? So if you are going to make use of a graphical representation of laminar, turbulent, and transition, you will see here in the next figure, no? Velocity boundary layer development on a flat plate. So as you see here, dito sa part natin ng laminar flow, very visible pa yung pattern ng ating fluid motion. Very clear pa yung direction nila kung saan sila pupunta. No? But then, when you look at the next region, which is the transition region, what happens? So some of the fluid particles or the motion of the fluid, they started to deviate from its original fluid flow. And then, when we are in the turbulent region, you cannot identify anymore their direction of fluid flow or motion. No? So, that is graphically, or if you are to conduct experiment using our apparatus to determine the fluid type of fluid flow, you will see this. No? Meron tayong na-develop na apparatus, yung mga graduates natin ng ating program, in which they made use of methanol to be the fluid, and then they color it blue para makita natin yung pattern ng fluid motion. So, since wala naman tayong laboratory component ng ating course, we do not conduct the experiment. But if you will see the write-ups of that particular laboratory apparatus, makikita nyo sa kanilang presentation of the results na very visible doon sa laminar region, and then yung transition region natin, ganito yung hitsura, and then in the turbulent region. Okay? So, that would be the results if you are going to conduct the experiment. And that would be observed kapag nakita ninyo or ginamit natin yung laboratory apparatus. Okay. But then, how are we going to determine it numerically or using analytical method? So, you can determine the type of flow if we calculate the so-called Reynolds number. So, Reynolds number is one of the dimensionless parameter that is very important in convection heat transfer. So, our Reynolds number is this one. That is your REX is equal to rho times U sub infinity times X divided by mu. So, ano itong component natin? So, if we are talking of the Reynolds number at a specific point, no? Kaya po meron tayong X. Halimbawa doon sa flat plate kanina na pinakita natin. If we are just interested in, say for example, 0.25 meter from the leading edge. Pag sinabi po nating leading edge, balikan ko lang yung figure. Ano? Kung ito po yung ating 0 point, ito po yung ating leading edge. So kung halimbawa ito ay 1 meter long, yung atin pong flat plate, kung interested lang tayong alamin natin yung atin pong value ng Reynolds number po dito sa atin pong part na ito na say 0.25 meters, no? So ito po yung particular point X. So kaya REX. Pero if we are interested to determine yun pong ating Reynolds number in the whole or in the entire length po ng ating flat plate, then we make use of REL. Ano? Ibig sabihin, entire length po. No, yun lang po yung ating gagamitin na nomenclature. So, REX, specific point X. Our rho po is our density. Our U sub infinity po, ito po yung ating velocity ng fluid. And then X po is yung specific point. And our mu po is the absolute viscosity. Sometimes po, it is not the absolute viscosity and the density that are given, but it is the so-called kinematic viscosity or the one that you can find from the table. So, ang relationship po natin, yung ating pong absolute viscosity divided by yung ating density, yun po ay equivalent sa kinematic viscosity. So instead po na ganito yung ating formula, it would be velocity times x divided by the kinematic viscosity. Ang kinematic viscosity po natin is, we make use of the lowercase v po. So, yun po yung ating ginagamit na, ginagamit po natin na symbol para sa kinematic viscosity. And values of that will be determined from the table of properties po natin. Okay? So again po, yun po yung ating equation ng ating Reynolds number. So again, the x is our characteristic length distance from the leading edge, and our rho is the density, velocity, and the absolute viscosity. Okay. So now, values from 10 to the 5th to 3 times 10 to the 6th is said to be yung atin pong critical values of the Reynolds number. Ano ibig sabihin? Below 10 to the 5th is said to be laminar, and above 3 times 10 to the 6th is said to be turbulent. So yung pong 10 to the 5th to 3 times 10 to the 6, yun po yung tinatawag natin na transition region. But a representative value, which is equal to 5 times 10 to the 5th, is the one that we use in order for us to determine where is the critical value or the critical length, no? In which transition begins. So we make use of 5 times 10 to the 5th, no? Para ma-determine natin where is the critical point or the critical length ng ating Reynolds number, in which that represents the transition begins. So doon po sa ating region kanina, the laminar, the transition, and the turbulent. So we are making use of 5 times 10 to the 5th to be the representative value. So ito yung gagamitin natin later para ma-determine natin where is the critical point. Okay? Naintindihan po, class? Questions po or clarifications? Wala po. Okay po, sige po. Punta po tayo sa ating next section. Ang next po natin is yung mga different dimensionless parameters. So you are given of table 5 of the different selected dimensionless group of heat and mass transfer parameters that we are going to make use in the discussion or analysis of convection heat transfer. No? So hindi ko na po ito iisa-isahin. I will leave this to you to study kung ano po yung tawag sa ating dimensionless group, ano po yung kanyang formula, at ano po yung interpretation or definition ng ating, ito po ay definition, ano? But the definition here refers to the formula for each dimensionless parameter. Ano? And then you have here the interpretation. So, banggitin ko lang po yung most commonly na magagamit po natin sa ating discussion from chapter 6, 7, and 8, which are all about convection. We talk about external flows and internal flows. Under ng external flow, force and free convection. So under ng force, yun pong ating external and internal flows. And we have also the free convection. So I discussed with you during our introduction kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng force and free convection. So una po nating didiscusin yung force convection, in which there are two types, the external flow and the internal flow. So dapat ma-identify nyo muna kung ano yung type ng ating convection heat transfer. Kasi magkaiba din po ang empirical correlation that we are going to use for external flow, for internal flow under po ng force convection, and also for the free convection. No? So, ito po yung mga dimensionless parameters. We have the Biot number, we have the bond number, the coefficient of friction, the Eckert number, the Fourier number, the mass transfer Fourier number, the friction factor, Then we have the Grashof number. So si Grashof number po gagamitin natin sa ating free convection. We have Colburn factor. We have the Jacob number. Also, we are going to make use of this in our discussion of the free convection. We also have the Lewy number, the Mach number. Then we have also the Nusselt number, Peclet number, Prandtl number, Reynolds number, Schmidt number. So this dimensionless parameter po will be commonly used in our discussion and analysis of convection heat transfer. Ano si Nusselt number? So Nusselt number is the ratio of convection to pure conduction heat transfer. So if the value of our Nusselt number is equal to 1, it means somehow nag-i-equal po yung ating convection and conduction heat transfer. If it is less than 1, ibig sabihin, mas mataas yung ating conduction heat transfer kaysa sa ating convection. If it is higher than 1, then convection heat transfer prevails. Okay? So look at this equation or the formula for Nusselt number. So Nusselt number is equal to HL over K. So yun pong ating H, convection heat transfer coefficient. Our L, if we are talking of NUL. Pero kung specific point po ulit, that would be represented as NUX. So this would be X instead of L. And then your K here is your thermal conductivity. So when are we going or where are we going to make use of this Nusselt number? So the Nusselt number will be obtained empirically. Meaning to say, we are going to make use of the we will be making use of the empirical correlation. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng empirical correlation? They are equations that have been obtained through series of experiments by different authors. No? So sila, nag-conduct sila ng experiment. Later po, mapipresent po natin yung setup nung ginamit nilang experiment. So they conducted several experiments. They have their results of the experiments, and what they do is they try to represent or try to interpret the results, and they make use of the correlation. No, so they develop their correlations for the specific application dito sa ating convection heat transfer analysis. So yung Nusselt number natin, doon natin kukuhanin si H. Ang pinakaiba po ng discussion natin previously at saka po yung discussion natin for convection heat transfer calculation or analysis is that before you are given of the value of H, but this time you are to evaluate first yung value ng H from the Nusselt number equation. So yung atin pong Nusselt number, ito yung i-obtain natin using empirical equations. Once we obtain the value of the Nusselt number, you equate this to HL over K and you will find the value of H. And this H will be the one to be used in finding our convection heat transfer value. No? Either it is heat flux kung hindi po available yung surface area, or it is the heat rate when you are given of the surface area. Okay? Then we also have here the Peclet number, the product of the Reynolds and the Prandtl number. Then you have the Prandtl number. So Prandtl number is one of the criteria that you are going to see later to determine yung range of applicability ng ating mga empirical equation para sa Nusselt number. So it is simply equal to V over alpha, or as mentioned here, it is the ratio of the momentum and thermal diffusivity. Then we have again the Reynolds number as I mentioned. So ito na po yung ating isang equation. VL over V. Again, ang V po ay velocity. L is the length. And V po here is the kinematic viscosity, in which that is the ratio of inertia and viscous forces. So we also have sometime we are using the Schmidt number. If you are given of the kinematic viscosity and the value of the AD, that is the ratio of momentum and mass diffusivity. Then we also have the Sherwood number, Stanton number, the mass transfer Stanton number, and the Weber number. So yung mga diniscuss ko po yung formula at yung kanilang definition, they are the most commonly used in our convection heat transfer analysis. Okay po? So any question po with a different dimensionless parameter? May tanong po tayo, clarifications? Hello po? Naintindihan pa po? Okay, sige po. Punta po tayo sa section 6, which is force convection. Again po, we will be analyzing force and free convection. So this chapter focuses on focuses on the problem of computing heat transfer rates to or from a surface in external flow. So yun po yung ating chapter 6. So force convection po siya, external flow. Ang chapter 7 po natin ay force convection, internal flow. So again, as we mentioned last time when we had the introduction to convection, when we say force convection, we are making use of external forces in order for us to have the fluid flow. So in such a flow, boundary layers develop freely without constraints in any adjacent surfaces. So accordingly, there will always exist a region of the flow outside the boundary layer in which the velocity, temperature, and or concentration gradients are negligible. And examples include fluid motion over a flat plate, inclined or parallel to the free stream velocity, and flow over curved surfaces such as sphere, cylinder, airfoil, or turbine blade. So our intended learning outcomes for this chapter determine the appropriate empirical correlations for different flow geometries applicable for external flows and solve convection coefficients and heat transfer rate for different flow geometry occurring externally, considering the methodologies for convection heat transfer calculation. So as you see in our intended learning outcomes, the first one is for us to identify or to determine the appropriate empirical correlations. And then after that, we will be solving yung ating value ng H and also yung convection heat transfer values or rate. No? So, as we proceed with our discussion, alam natin na siya ay force convection and external flow because that is the chapter that we are discussing. Pero later, kapag po tayo ay nakatapos na nung next 3 chapters natin, nung force convection, external and internal flow, at saka ng free convection, labo-labo na po yung ating problem, no? So you will be the one to identify first whether are we talking of force or free convection, no? And after po na malaman natin na siya ay force convection, identify are we talking of external or internal flow. Madali lang naman kung alamin yun, ano? So titingnan mo lang kung siya ay meron bang external means, external forces to have the fluid flow or the fluid motion. Kung meron, so that is force convection. Kung wala, that is free convection. Now, after knowing that it is force convection, identify, are we talking of the surface outside or are we talking of the internal surfaces? Para ma-identify natin kung siya ay external flow or internal flow. Bakit po, ma'am? Kasi nga, magkaiba po yung empirical correlations natin for the different configuration natin. Kung siya ay force or free, kung siya ay external or internal flow. Then after that pa, saka natin aalamin kung are we talking of a flat plate or what type of geometry. Flat plate ba siya? Cylinder ba siya? Sphere ba siya? Or tube banks ba siya? No? So meron din tayong suggested na procedure para makonduct natin ng ayos yung ating analysis ng convection heat transfer. Okay? So, but before that, let me just give you kung ano yung, kung saan ba kinuha ng different authors yung empirical equations na kanilang dinidevelop. So, this one is the simple representation of the experiment they conducted for measuring the average convection heat transfer coefficient. So, what the authors did or what the scientists did is that they tried to have this kind of experiment. They vary yung geometry nito kasi ito flat plate, no? So nilagyan natin ng electrical charge itong ating setup. So we try to relate this electrical or power into our Q, kaya I times E is equal to Q, which is simply equal to our convection heat transfer equation. No? So merong different types ng fluid na ginamit ng ating authors. Some of them, they use air, they use water, they use engine oil, they use other gases. And then they tried it at different velocity and they tried it at different temperature of the fluid. And they measure yung ating surface temperature, no? And then after that, since they conducted several values of the parameters, so nagkaroon sila ng iba't ibang or ng maraming data. So once they have the data, they try to analyze and interpret the data, and they come up with the empirical equation in which that equation represents yung kanilang results na nakuha. Okay? So ayun po. So if you are interested in conducting similar experiment, maybe some of you will be interested in conducting this in your capstone project or in your project study. Malay natin makadevelop tayo ng sarili nating empirical equation. No? Magkakaroon tayo ng sarili nating empirical equation. So if you want, you can go into this experimental setup in our project study and to prove something about the empirical equations and then try to evaluate or to make use of other geometry, or it can be other types of fluid with different fluid velocity and temperature, and baka makakam up tayo ng sarili nating empirical equation. So yan po yung ginamit nilang setup or experiment in order for them to come up with the different empirical equations that we are going to have later. Okay? So the different dimensions, the different empirical equations emanate from this. Ito po, ito yung generic. Ito yung naging generic na representation natin ng formula ng Nusselt number. That is equal to C times the Reynolds number raised to M times the Prandtl number raised to N. No? So ito pong may bar na ito sa itaas, no, that represents average Nusselt number. Okay? Pag po wala po yung bar dito sa taas, that is the local Nusselt number. So ano po yung pinagkaiba ng average at saka ng local Nusselt number? It is local kapag po specific point lang along, say, the surface ng atin pong flat plate. Pero kung ang pag-uusapan po natin is the entire length of the flat plate, then we will be talking of the average Nusselt number. Okay po? So as you see later, there would be some differences in the value of C, that is numerical coefficient or constant. The value of M po, which is the power or exponent of the Reynolds number. And our N po would be the power or exponent of our Prandtl number. Okay po? So, ayan po ang atin pong equation para sa Nusselt number. So, as we proceed later, you will see difference in value of C, M, and N. Okay? For the different geometries that we are going to discuss. Okay. So, punta po tayo sa atin pong next page. Take note that we are now to define the so-called film temperature. Ano po yung film temperature? Film temperature is the average of the surface and the fluid temperature in which most of the properties are to be evaluated in this film temperature. Ma'am, ano po yung properties? So, yung mga properties na kailangan natin kuhanin sa table. Properties po ng material natin na gagamitin. No? So, you have to evaluate po yung film temperature. Take note later sa mga empirical equations po natin, meron pong mga properties that are to be evaluated at the fluid temperature. So, kapag po sinabi ng requirement natin doon sa ating empirical equation that the properties are to be evaluated at the fluid temperature, then you have to evaluate them at fluid temperature. Kung hindi po na-mention, it is understood that you have to evaluate this at the film temperature. Okay? Sometimes po, meron din po tayong subscript na S, which means that the property is to be evaluated at the surface temperature. Okay po? So, yun. Yun po yung ating initial discussion about po yung ating module 6. Now, we proceed po with flat plate in parallel flow. So, yan din po yung figure natin kanina. Yung pinakita natin, yung laminar, turbulent, and the transition. This one is the laminar, then this point po is the transition, and then you have here your turbulent flow. Okay? And this is a flat plate. We have here the velocity of the fluid and its temperature and the surface temperature of the flat plate. Now, if we talk of convection heat transfer calculation, we have here the methodology for a convection calculation as suggested by the author of our reference book, Dewey, Intropera, et al., Bergman, and Levine. Sila po yung authors ng ating book or reference material. So, di ba, gagamitin pa rin po natin yung ating methodology for heat transfer calculation such as yung known, yung find, yung schematic, yung assumptions, yung properties, and then yung analysis at saka po comments. So, under po ng ating analysis, ito po yung ating susundin. No? So, again, ang una po, hindi po nakalagay dyan kasi nga, chapter by chapter tayo or topic by topic. But the first thing that you have to know, kapag po tayo ay magsusolve na later kasi ay hindi natin i-identify kung alin bang chapter yun. So, you have to check first, are we talking of force or free convection? After knowing that it is force convection, are we talking of force or free convection? Ng external or internal flow. No? So after natin malaman yun, ma-identify natin na siya ay force convection tapos external flow. So the next thing that you have to know is itong numbers 1 to 5 natin na methodology. First is become immediately cognizant of the flow geometry. Does the problem involve flow over a flat plate, sphere, or cylinder? The specific form of convection correlation depends on the geometry. Kasi may kanya-kanya po tayong empirical equation para kay flat plate, para kay sphere, para kay cylinder, para kay tube banks. No? So, aalamin mo po yung geometry. Kasi kung siya ay flat plate, di doon ka lang titingin para sa flat plate. Ano? Hindi mo kailangang gamitin yung ibang flow geometry para po malesen natin yung ating pagpipilian. Because you have to choose which is the appropriate empirical equation. If there would be more than one empirical equation that is appropriate for such geometry, then you have to choose which is the most appropriate later in your analysis. Okay? Then the next one is to specify the appropriate reference temperature and evaluate the pertinent fluid properties at that temperature. There are correlations that require property evaluation at the film temperature. Others require property at the free stream temperature, or other would be at the fluid temperature or surface temperature. So, titingnan nyo pong mabuti. Ma'am, kung hindi pa po namin alam kung alin nga po yung gagamitin. So, kung pagtingin natin, halimbawa, flat plate, nakita natin, lahat naman sila film temperature i-evaluatein. Hindi sa film temperature lang tayo pang-evaluate. Pero pagdating kay cylinder, merong mga empirical equations or correlation that require to be evaluated yung properties sa fluid temperature or sa free stream temperature or surface temperature. So with that, i-evaluatein mo na po yung properties para isang tinginan mo lang sa properties. Ilagay mo lang evaluated at film temperature, evaluated at surface temperature, or evaluated at fluid temperature. So ang mga common po nating properties na ini-evaluate, yung pong ating kinematic viscosity, or pwede rin naman pong absolute viscosity and density, at saka po yung ating Prandtl number at yung ating thermal conductivity. Okay, so ayun po yung most common na ini-evaluate natin na properties. Then the third one is to calculate the Reynolds number. Again, as I mentioned a while ago, the Reynolds number will determine whether the type of flow is laminar or turbulent, or whether we are in the transition region. Okay? So, determine po yung Reynolds number kasi magkaiba po ulit ang empirical equation para kay laminar at para kay turbulent. Okay? Then number 4, decide whether a local or surface average coefficient is required. The local coefficient is used to determine the heat flux at a particular point on the surface, whereas the average coefficient determines the transfer rate for the entire surface. Na-mention ko na po ito kanina sa inyo. Again po, kapag ka-local, wala pong bar. So, yung Nusselt number at saka po yung ating H ay di NU, X, at saka po H lang. Pero kapag po average, then we make use of NU, L, that is the entire length, and bar H po. Nakabar din po yung ating NUL. No? And then number 5 po would be to select the appropriate correlation. Again, sometimes, isa lang po talaga yung appropriate, but sometimes more than one. So later, you have to select in your analysis which is the most appropriate empirical correlation. Okay, so we strictly follow this methodology because this will serve as your guide for you to be able to calculate the convection heat transfer values. Okay? Now, again po, yung property evaluation, reminder po ulit, ito po yung ating generic na empirical equation para sa Nusselt number at ito po yung ating film temperature. Ito po yung sinasabi ko sometimes, meron pong nakasubscript na infinity at saka S. So, ibig sabihin po ng PR infinity, you are to evaluate the Prandtl number at the fluid temperature. Yung sub-S naman po ay the surface temperature. This one refers to the absolute viscosity to be evaluated at the fluid and at the surface temperature. Okay? Pero kung wala naman pong subscript, it is understood that the property is to be evaluated at the fluid temperature, at the film temperature, I mean, PF. Okay? Now, ito po yung mga empirical correlations that you are going to make use. So, for external flow, nakalagay na po yan dyan sa inyong module, no? So, this one is for flat plate in parallel flow. So, flat plate, if we are talking of laminar, no? So, laminar po siya. Ibig sabihin, the value of the Reynolds number is less than 10 to the 5th, no? So, then we have po yung ating empirical equation for the local Nusselt number. So, ito po yung ating equation. And yun po mga nandyan sa side, kagaya po nitong Prandtl number greater than or equal to 0.6. Yan po yung point of applicability. So, take note that this is for laminar, kaya po ang ating pong value ng x is greater than 0 but less than the critical point. Okay? So, ang atin pong formula, 0.332, square root of the Reynolds number, cube root of the Prandtl number. Again, 0.332 is the value of C. Ang value natin ng M ay 1/2, ang value natin ng N ay 1/3. So, ito pong mga empirical equations, ito ay open during our examination. Open din po siya during your quizzes and also during your preparation of your problem set. But since that is open formula po, what you need to know is when and where are you going to submit to make use. Wait. Okay, so as I was saying, what you have to know is when are you going to make use of that empirical correlation. No? Important na alamin ninyo kung kailan gagamitin. Kasi na-open na yung formula, ay mahirap na lahat naka-open kasi hindi mo alam kung saan siya i-apply. Wala, ang margin na wala na. Wait lang po ulit, class. Okay? So yun, ang kailangan ninyong intindihin. Ano? Malaman natin kung alin ang i-apply natin. So dapat intindihin niyo kung yung mga methodology na minention ko above. Okay? So next po is for average boundary layer. As you see here, so ito ay local, 0.332. Yun pong ating average. As you notice, ang magkaiba lang po sa kanya is yung numerical coefficient. So naging 0.664. So it is just times 2. Kapag po local at kapag po average, you just multiply it by 2. So note, if the flow is laminar over the entire surface, the subscript x po may be replaced by L, and the equation may be used to predict average conditions for the entire surface. So instead of NUX, you can make use of NUN. Okay? And again po, yung notation natin ha. Pag local, ganyan lang. Pag po average, merong bar. So after this, pag nalaman natin yung ating Nusselt number, saka nyo kukunin yung value ng H. Yung formula natin na HL over K. So out of that, you will find the value of H, and then you will find your Q convection. Now, for small or for fluids of small Prandtl number, kasi ang requirement natin dito sa una, ang Prandtl number should be greater than or equal to 0.6. So what if mabababa lang yung value ng Prandtl number? So for this, for Prandtl number less than or equal to 0.05, but there is the requirement of the Peclet number. So take note that Peclet number is the product of the Reynolds and the Prandtl number. If it is satisfied, then you can make use of this equation for the Nusselt number. 0.564 times the square root of the Peclet number. Okay? So another empirical equation po, a single correlating equation which applies for all Prandtl number by Churchill and Ozo. So the laminar flow over an isothermal heat, we have this equation. No? So yan, medyo mahaba na po yung equation kaya hindi natin yan pinapasaulo sa inyo. Okay? So take note of how you are going to press it in your calculator. And that is for the local, and for this one is for the average. As I mentioned a while ago, when you are asked for the average, you just multiply it by 2. Now, then another equation po, para naman po sa turbulent boundary layer. So pag turbulent boundary layer, this will be now our empirical equation. So iba na po yung value ng C at iba na rin po yung value ng M. And this is the range of applicability for the Prandtl number. So kailangan pong masatisfy para magamit natin yung empirical equation. That is for turbulent. Now what if we are talking of the mixed boundary layer? So sa mixed boundary layer po, when transition occurs sufficiently upstream on the trailing edge, there is a requirement, XC is the critical point divided by L should be less than or equal to 0.95. So this would be our empirical equation. That your NUL is equal to 0.037 Reynolds number to the 4/5 minus A times your Prandtl number to the 1/3, in which this is the value of your A. You have to calculate for the value of your A. Range of applicability, the Prandtl number should be greater than 0.6 but less than 60. And then, yung atin pong value ng Reynolds number, 5 times 10 to the 5th to less than or equal to 10 to the 8th. And again, reminding you of your critical value of the Reynolds number is 5 times 10 to the 5th. So you have to make use of this one to calculate for the value of A. So there is a note here that for a completely turbulent boundary layer, your REXC is 0 and A is equal to 0. Such condition may be realized by treating the boundary layer at the leading edge using fine wire or some other turbulent promoter. For a transition Reynolds number of 5 times 10 to the 5th, so A is equal to 871. So ito pong value ng A natin is 871 if you make use of 5 times 10 to the 5th. All of the foregoing correlations require evaluation of the properties at the film temperature. Again po, pag sinabi natin film, that is the average of surface and fluid temperature. Ano? So, ayun po yung para po sa ating flat plate. No? Para po sa laminar, sa turbulent, at saka po sa mixed boundary layer. Okay? So, let us try po to solve example 6.1. So, air at a pressure of 6 kilopascal and a temperature of 300 degrees Celsius flows with a velocity of 10 meter per second over a flat plate, 0.5 meter long. Estimate the cooling rate per unit width of the plate needed to maintain it at a surface temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. So, try to analyze po yung ating given. Pakilagay na po ng known, ng find, ng schematic. And then, hanapin po natin ang properties sa atin pong table. Ang kailangan po natin dito ay film temperature. Kasi doon naman po sa ating mga diniscuss na empirical equation, lahat naman po sila ay sa film temperature. Wala naman pong nagbanggit sa kanila ng fluid or surface temperature, no? And then after po doon ay alamin po natin kung ano po yung type ng flow at kung alin po yung gagamitin natin na empirical equation para makuha natin yung Nusselt number and later yun pong ating H. So try to analyze po. I'll give you 9 minutes to present po yung lahat ng items natin na kailangan bago po tayo mag-analyze. Hanggang doon po sa properties. Okay? Sige po. Paki-analyze po muna nito. Sulat po ang known hanggang properties. Okay, so let us continue. So if we are going to have yung atin pong known. Ano po ang known sa ating problem? So that would be an airflow or air flowing in an isothermal plate at a prescribed pressure and temperature and velocity with a plate dimension and surface temperature. Tama po ba? Ano po ang ating find? We are asked to determine yung cooling rate per unit width of the plate. So let that be your Q prime in watts per meter. So for our schematic representation, we have here a flat plate na meron pong length na L is 0.5 meters. And then we have here yung ating air. Ang mention po sa atin ay temperature ng fluid is at 300 degrees Celsius. The velocity po is at 10 meter per second. And the pressure po is 6 kilonewton per square meter. And we have here the surface temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. Okay? So assumption po natin, steady state condition, negligible radiation effect since wala naman pong mention about the surroundings. Okay, so yan po yung ating assumptions. And then for the properties po, ito yung importance kung bakit sinama natin itong example problem natin ito. Take note na yun pong properties natin na nakukuha natin sa table, they are given at atmospheric conditions. No, ibig sabihin, ang pressure po niya is 1 atmosphere, which is our 101.325 kilopascal. Okay, so pag tinignan po natin yung ating film temperature, the film temperature is 300 plus 27 divided by 2 plus 273 Kelvin. Ano po ang film temperature natin? Yes, Iko. But hindi ba nag-show yung aking...
Ma'am, meron po bang... Opo, wala po, ma'am.
Ay, bakit? Ba't di siya nag-show? Yan. Okay na? Okay.
Yes
sige,
po.
ayan. Okay. Oh, now, ano po yung ating film temperature? Ano pong value ng ating film temperature? 300 plus 27 divided 2 plus 273. Yes, ikaw.
436.5K po.
436.5 Kelvin. Ano? So, ayun po yung ating hindi ulit ba't hindi siya nasulat? Dapat pala hindi siya naka-minimize. Mini-minimize ko kasi sa aking kaya nawawala. Sige, huwag natin siya i-minimize. Okay, so ayun po yung ating film temperature. Okay, so with this, again, kukuhanin ninyo yung properties. Yung properties natin na kinematic viscosity, tsaka yung ating thermal conductivity, at tsaka Prandtl number. So this is what you are going to obtain from the table. Kaya lang, again, ito po ay at 1 atmosphere or 101.325 kilopascal. So alin ba sa tatlong ito yung affected ng pressure? Yung atin pong thermal conductivity at Prandtl number, they are unaffected by pressure. Pero yun pong ating kinematic viscosity, it is affected by pressure. Bakit? Saan ba related si kinematic viscosity? Di ba sabi natin, kinematic viscosity is the absolute viscosity divided by the density. Di ba doon sa ating ideal gas equation, PV is equal to MRT. Ano? Andyan po si density. Si density is mass over volume. So with this po, this density is actually affected by pressure. No? So, kung i-relate po natin yan, i-derive natin yung kanyang relationship, we will be resulting our derivation in P1 times your V1 is equal to your P2 times your V2. No, kasi yung density, i-relate po natin dito sa kinematic viscosity. So, ang tunay po nating kinematic viscosity is this V2. So, your V2 would be equal to your P1 times your V1 divided by your P2. So, yung P1 po natin, yun yung 101.325 kilopascal. Yun pong ating V1, yun po yung makukuha ninyo sa table, no? And then, divided by po yung ating P2 na 6 kilopascal. Okay? So, yun po yung importance nitong ating example 6.1. Kung hindi po kasi natin itatama yung value ng kinematic viscosity, so ang magagamit po natin is yung kukuhanin na natin sa table. But then again, the properties from the table is given in 1 atmosphere or 101.325 kilopascal. Sige po, makikibigay nga po ano ang nakuha natin na kinematic viscosity kanina sa atin pong table. Ano pong value natin? Kinematic viscosity at 436.5 Kelvin. Nakita nyo po ba? Air po. Table 8.4, air. Ano po ang value ng kinematic viscosity? Makikilagay po sa ating chat box yung ating value para po makaproceed tayo sa ating analysis. Hello po. Wala po bang nakakuha ng kinematic viscosity?
Ma'am, wait lang po. Naghahanap lang po.
Makilagay po sa chat box pag meron na po kayong value. Okay. Giancarlo, okay. 30.8352. So, 30.8352 times 10 to the negative 6. This is in square meter per second. Next ito, yung thermal conductivity at saka po yung Prandtl number. Yeah. 36.355 times 10 to the negative 3 watts per meter Kelvin. At ang ating pong Prandtl number, base po sa chat ng ating mga classmate ay 0.6878. Yung po bang 30.7754 kasi kay Giancarlo ay 30.8352. O sige, pakicorrect na lang po nung ating kinematic viscosity kung alin po yung mas tama. Base po sa temperature, no? So kung ang ginamit po natin is yung 436.5, baka po itong 30.8352 ay sa 437. Okay, sige po. So yun ang ating value. O ano po yung nakuha nating value? Ano? And then ano pong sunod? So, apply po natin dito. Pakilagay niyo po dito ng inyong V1 na nakuha, then you compute for your V2. Then after po ninyong makuha yung V2, ang sunod po natin is yung ating analysis. So sa analysis po natin, again, tinatanong po sa atin is yung Q prime, which is H or bar H times yung L times Ts minus the temperature of the fluid. So kailangan po natin yung ating bar H. So saan natin kukuhanin yung bar H? From the Nusselt number. But before that, we compute po for the Reynolds number. So the Reynolds number is equal to your velocity times the length divided by your kinematic viscosity 2. So you substitute po the values, given naman po yung velocity at saka yung L. Tapos yung atin pong V2, yun pong makukuha natin dito. Then, after having po yung Reynolds number, we will be identifying kung ano po yung type ng flow bago pa po tayo mag-select kung alin po yung empirical equation. Makikuha po muna hanggang Reynolds number. Please provide po yung value ng Reynolds number in the chat box. Okay, sabi po ni Brent, ang ating V2 ay 5.1972. Ano? So V2 is 5.1972 times 10 to the negative 4. And then, ang ating pong Reynolds number ay 9620. 9620.57. Okay. So after having that, Reynolds number, so what do you say about the type of flow? Kung siya po ay 9620. Is it laminar, turbulent, or in transition region? Laminar, okay? May nakasulat din po pala sa mga nag-send ng ano. So sabi ni Brent, ni Gian, at saka ni Kelvin. So laminar flow, ano? So kung laminar flow, alin po ang ating gagamitin na empirical equation? Base po sa diniscuss natin kanina. Yun pong, alin po? 0.664, no? Times the square root of the Reynolds number times the cube root of the Prandtl number. Okay, so makiki-substitute po nito para makuha po natin ang ating Nusselt number. After po niyan, gamitin po natin yung equation ng ating Nusselt number na HL over K. Makukuha po natin yung bar H. And then, after po niyan, substitute po natin doon sa bar H times L times Ts minus the temperature of the fluid. Then you have your Q prime. Makibigay po ng values natin ng Nusselt number, bar H at saka po Q prime. Makilagay na lang po ulit sa chat box para alam natin na may nakakompute na po. Yes, Iko.
Ma'am, question lang po. Yung pong sa laminar boundary layer po, for local po, dapat po ba siya ay PR is less than 0.6 po?
Wait lang, balikan natin yung ating... sorry. Balikan natin yung ating requirement. Sa laminar flow, greater than, di ba? Greater than or equal to 0.6. Since ang atin pong Prandtl number ay 0.68, so okay po siya. Okay na, Iko?
Okay po, ma'am. Gets ko na po.
Yung ating requirement, greater than or equal to 0.6. Ang inyong PR na binigay kanina ay 0.68708. So, okay po yung ating range of applicability. Pasok po siya doon sa requirement. Ano po ang ating Nusselt number? Meron na po bang nakasolve? Nusselt number? Nusselt number bar H. Ayan, meron pong binigay si Kent. Ang Nusselt number po ay equal sa 57.468 base po sa kanyang message dito sa atin. So, sulat lang po natin dito. 57.468. Then, yung kanyang bar H po na na-compute ay 4.1785. This is in watts per square meter Kelvin. At ang Q prime niya po ay 570.3691. This is in watts per meter. Okay, same po nang nakuha ni Emmanuel. Same with Eliza. Okay, so sige po, wag na pong mag-chat. Raise hand na lang po yung mga nakakuha po ng ating values para we know po kung sino-sino po yung mga nakakuha na ng values natin. Okay, sige po. I-unshare ko na po ha para makita ko yung full screen natin that whoever yun pong nakakuha na ng ating values. Huwag na pong maglagay ng message, raise hand na lang po. Huwag niyo po munang ibabaha para kita natin kung lahat po ba ay nakakuha na. Huwag po makikigaya lang ha sa raise hand. Sino pa pong hindi naka-raise hand? Mar Francis, John Dexter, any question po or clarification? Gia Patricia? Questions po? Hindi pa nyo nakuha yung value? Sebastian? Sa mga hindi po nakakuha pa ng values, meron pong question, clarifications. Meron pong tanong? Sige po, you may lower your hand. Okay, so ayun po yung ating example 6.1, ano? So, para po doon sa ating next example problem, please try po yung atin pong example problem 6.2. Ito po ay application pa rin ng ating flat plate. Nasaan na yung 6.2? Ito po ano? So, a flat plate of width 1 meter is maintained at a uniform surface temperature of 230 degrees Celsius by using independently controlled electrical strip heater, each of which is 50 millimeter long. If atmospheric air at 25 degrees Celsius flows over the plate at a velocity of 60 meters per second, at what heater is the electrical input a maximum? And what is the value of this input? Okay, so try po ninyo ha, para mabilis po ang discussion natin next meeting para po dito sa ating example 6.2. And then, maki-study nyo po nung next part po natin, yung cylinder in cross flow. There are different empirical equations po involved for cylinder. Naka-mention po dyan sa ating reference material. Empirical correlation due to Hilbert. So si Hilbert po yung, ito yung kanyang equation, in which the value of C and M are presented on the table. Meron din tayong Chukauskas. So ang spelling po ng Chukauskas, may letter H after ng Z. So Chukauskas po yun. And then you have here po yung values ng C and M ni Chukauskas tsaka po kay Churchill and Bernstein. So meron po tayong tatlong empirical correlation pagdating po natin sa cylinder. And same thing po, if you can try po solving yung ating example 6.3 and study also yung empirical equation para po kay Spear. So kay Spear naman po, we have Whittaker and then meron din po tayong kay Rance and Marshall. Di po ata napasulat ang Rance and Marshall. Oo, nawala yung kay Rance and Marshall. Meron pa po si Rance and Marshall. Then after that po yung flow across tube banks. Medyo mahaba pa po itong ating section 6. So we will try to finish po next meeting. At least man lang po ay hanggang sa Spear. Okay, isang example sa cylinder, isang example po kay Spear. So try to solve po and study the empirical equation so that you will know kung alin po yung gagamitin at saka yung kanilang range of applicability. Okay, so with that po, may naintindihan po, may natutunan ngayong araw na ito. Okay, sige po. So, see you next meeting. And again, please study the next chapter or the next section ng ating chapter 6. Thank you.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Salamat. Thank you po.